This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. We are here in Las Vegas and I'm joined by David Diamante. David, firstly, how are you?
Man, I'm great, Andy. It's so great to see you here in Las Vegas. What a night we had last night. Amazing. It's a beautiful day, and that's it. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good to hear. Now, obviously, last night we saw the conclusion to the Canelo-Golovkin trilogy. Canelo coming away with a unanimous decision win. Just your thoughts on the fight and the conclusion of that trilogy?
You know, both guys are just legends. They really have done so much for the sport, and Canelo reigning, or not Canelo, Golovkin reigning supreme in the middleweight division for so long. I mean, 20 straight title defenses. You know, one of the highest knockout ratios in middleweight championship boxing history. Very avoided fighter in his time. Big amateur background. He's just done a lot. And obviously the first two fights, a lot of people see him in different ways, but last night we got the conclusion 4 years later. Now, you know, for this reason, for that reason, it is what it is, but I think that we saw last night that Father Time is undefeated. And listen, I mean, Golovkin's still as tough as they come. He was game. Kind of similar in the Murata fight. He took time to get started. With Murata, obviously a lesser opponent than the Canelo. He was able to get the job done and much quicker. But with Canelo, it took him quite a while to get started. I mean, against Canelo, it took him a while to get started. I can't remember what round, if it was 8 or 9, but it seemed like he really just hit a really cute, beautiful uppercut, jacked the jaw of Canelo, and that changed the fight. And I'd actually never seen Canelo kind of rocked like that. He was rocked. You know, I was ringside. I saw it real close, and that's what it looked like to me. And then Golovkin jumped on him, and I thought he did well from that point on. But even still, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to edge Canelo, who just had a really fine performance, super solid, and just really there were times where I'll tell you, Canelo just was beating on him. You know, early in that fight, it was kind of tough to watch because it was like, you could see Golovkin was just, he's so tough, he's not going to stop. He's never been stopped, never been dropped. And he just was like, you know, it's, to me, that's why the boxing ring can be such a dark, dark place. But a lot of people, and Canelo's even said that he had some injuries coming from the Purewal fight also. And I think that there was speculation when you watch some of those punches that some of them were a little slapping because maybe he wasn't turning his punches over the same way as he normally would because maybe the pain that it caused him. So I think he's going to take some time off and get that stuff taken care of. And can't wait to see him back in the ring and see who he decides to go against in what division. You know, will it be 168? Will it be 175? I mean, obviously we're going out to Abu Dhabi to have Zurdo and Bivol. We got to see what happens with that. There are so many dance partners. I heard him mention Benavidez' name last night, Bandera Roja. Like, come on, man, there's a lot of great fights. So, yeah, we'll see.
I mean, obviously, in terms of high-level fighters, Canelo's probably been the most active out of anyone across any division over the last few years. So it would be understandable for him to let his injuries heal and take quite a bit of a break, shall we say. But when he does come back, do you think, off what you saw last night, there's any concerns that maybe we're starting to see him slow down at all, or would you think that would be premature to say?
You know, everything is just so, it's tough. It's tough to say. Because I think also, again, with these fighters, they don't have so many chances to ply their wares. So we see him, you know, even Canelo, who's super active, compared to a lot of the champions out there, we don't see him every week, every day. We can really say like, oh, that's a decline, or that's, you know, so it's hard to say. I mean, you know, guys might wake up one day with a stomach bug, or maybe they didn't get a great, you know, night of sleep, or maybe it was a tough media week. Who knows what's going on in their lives? You know, we get to see them for those 36 minutes inside the ring and find out what really happened. So it's hard to say that, but I would say that might be a safe thing to say. You know, I think we definitely seen a declining Triple G for sure. You know, Father Time is undefeated. And I think, you know, Canelo might have, who knows, maybe he might have peaked, maybe not. We've seen guys come back in their careers even stronger later, but I think it depends on the dance partner and what's going on in their lives. So I wouldn't say that, but you as pundits could say it.
Obviously, with Triple G, he still holds, as he says, 3 of the belts down at 160. Whether people can see IBO is another question. Do you think that we'll see him move back down to 160? I was speaking to a couple of people last night who suggested they'd like to see him maybe move away from the sport now, but there's still some big fights out there for him.
Yeah, I think, one of the big things with boxing is, they say boxing's a hunger sport. And you got to have a reason to be hungry. And so you got to look at a guy and say, what is he really hungry for? You never want to count anyone's money, but I think Golovkin did pretty well last night. I think he's done pretty well in his career up to this point, so I don't think money's really too much of an issue. I think many people can say this, that, and the other what they want to say. I think there's no doubt he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But I do think that there's some issues for Golovkin in that first fight where a lot of people thought he won, even the second fight, a lot of the pundits ringside thought that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying a lot of pundits said that they thought Golovkin won the second one also. He never won the lineal championship. He never became undisputed in the division. Now, whether it was his fault or not, it's just what it is. But either way, 20 straight title defenses. The string of knockouts is unbelievable. I think it was like 17 in that first 20 defenses. That's unbelievable. I think that's Hall of Fame worthy. And I think also he really wanted to fight all comers. And you see it going against a guy like Canelo. I mean, Canelo is one of the most dangerous men in the sport, and he happily took that fight 3 times. So I don't think it was his fault for that. So we'll see what is he hungry for. Is it money? Is it to win titles in another division? Is it to become lineal? Is it to become undisputed? I don't know. That's a question he has to answer.
Just also got your 2 big fights I want to get your thoughts on. There's talks of a potential bout between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. David, do you think we'll see that before the year's out?
I don't know. That you got to talk to Eddie and Frank about that. But look, would I like to see it? Absolutely. But I mean, look, I was with Robert Garcia earlier this week on my podcast, and also Jesse Rodriguez, who fought last night against Higa, defended his title, second title defense for WBC Super Flyweight Championship. But Robert was saying he'd like to. First of all, I'm not saying Robert's training him now because I don't know. I don't think that's worked out yet. But he's saying he would like to still continue with him, and he said if he did, he would like Anthony to kind of take a couple fights before that. So we'll see. Again, I'm not an advisor. I'm not a promoter. I'm just the announcer, and I'm a fan. Number one, I'm a fan. I want to see the fight, whether it happens in December, whether it happens next year. I don't care, but I really want to see that fight. I think it'd be incredible for the heavyweight division, and it'd be incredible for the UK.
100%. I think everybody from the UK will echo those calls, David. And the final one, we're only a couple of weeks away now from another big one in London, Eubank Jr-Benn. David, just your thoughts as we edge ever closer to what a fight which I don't think many thought we would ever see, but here we are.
Here we are, and we see Mr. Eubank celebrating his birthday with a 60% in chocolate glaze and a tiramisu. And he, hey, y'all know I'm not going to miss out on my birthday cake, right? So here he is, obviously jabbing at Conor about the weight and all that. Look, we're just a few weeks away. I'll be in the center of the ring. I can't wait. I love both guys. It's a really exciting fight. I think both guys are class. I think Chris Eubank's a hell of a fighter. I think he's a great athlete. I think Conor's a hell of a fighter, hell of an athlete. They're both motivated. Obviously, they're fathers. There's so much history to this fight. I can't wait. The roof's going to come off on Saturday night with Eubank Ben. It's lovely. So let's do it. I'll be there. The fight starts now. I can't wait. And wow. But, at the end of the day, I do think, just to say, there's an old adage, a good big man beats a good small man. And we've seen that play out so many times, whether you're talking Rigondeaux going up to fight Lomachenko, whether you're talking about Kell Brook going up to fight Spence, Mikey Garcia going up to fight Spence. All these different weight classes make a difference. And so it's a tall order for Conor Benn. That being said, doesn't mean it can't happen. This is why we watch. Anything can happen. And Conor Benn's been on a tear. This is going to be amazing. So can't wait to see the fight.
All right, David, we'll call that there now because I know you're a busy man. You've got a few things to do today, but enjoy the rest of your time in Las Vegas. I'm sure I'll see you in Nottingham. Thank you for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Yeah, safe travels. I'll see you guys in Nottingham. And Maxie Hughes, Kid Galahad. Let's do it. See you guys there. Take care, Andy. Thanks.